Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle Haas. Boy, oh boy, these scammers are getting good, guys. The scams are getting good, but luckily for the comic book community, our comic book detectives are also getting really, really good. Folks, we got some breaking news coming out of Instagram here. The 9.9 newsstand account pointing out a very interesting sort of developing story going on with this CGC 9.8 of an Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand marked jeweler sale that sold for a whopping price of $15,000 just the other day. You know, an incredible sale, a huge number. A lot of people were talking about, how crazy of a number that was. But shout out to the 9.9 newsstand who put together this Instagram post, who kind of uncovered something a lot more interesting than the sales figure, actually uncovering perhaps some scam shenanigans, perhaps a CGC oversight. I don't really know. It's a breaking story, and I decided that, it'd be important to make this video for you guys here today, kind of take you through the process that 9.9 discovered here. And then maybe in the comments, if anyone has any ideas how we could have had this happen, we can kind of, as a community, uncover this plot all together. But of course, before I get really into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Helps support the channel, doing those things, but let us get into this video here today. Now, what you have in front of you is the 9.9 newsstand post. I, of course, will put a link in the description to his post. Again, give him a follow on his Instagram account for doing all this great work, and you guys can see, all the discussion that is being had around it. I'm just going to sort of surmise what he already said in his post just for the sake of this video here. But again, a few days ago, we had a CGC ASM 9.8 252 newsstand marked jewelers edition sell for, as you can see right here on GPA, $15,700. A massive sale for this book. This is the only one, I think, recorded sale on GPA that we can see right here. So I don't actually know how many copies of existence there are. 9.8 marked jewelers newsstands, obviously not a lot since there's not much sales data, but you can actually see in GPA, there is actually one earlier sale in August 3rd for $2,247, which let's table that for a second. That's where the plot actually gets very, very interesting. So this big sales figure happened, for this particular book right here, seemingly a very, very beautiful book. One of one, essentially, makes sort of sense as to why, someone who's a big Black Suit Spider-Man fan would pay that sort of price. But one of the interesting things that you notice here is if you pull it up into CGC, you type in the certificate number, and you really zoom in on some of these images here, you'll start to notice that this book has some questionable characteristics to be a 9.8. Here you see in the corner, a little bit soft up there, some color breaks, some whitening. Maybe a little bit of spine tick stuff going on right here, but maybe CGC would let that slide, but not the greatest spine you've ever seen. A little bit of softness down here in the lower right corner, and then a little bit of color break here in the top right, and then even here along the spine. So not a perfect 9.8 book. Has a lot of damages on it, and you can also see, the wrap right here, some black on the top of this wrap, and some white down here on the bottom of this wrap. Well, if you follow the paper trail on the CGC cert number, which is 42777000004, and you go back to the previous sale for that book that we mentioned that sold in August, you'll have this book pulled up right here. Now, I have it in Go Collect because it has a little bit closer of an image, and you can see that this book is an Amazing Spider-Man 252 newsstand CGC 9.8. However, it does not have the custom label that we see in this book right here, and it does not have the notation of it being a marked jewelers. And in fact, if you actually really look at this book, look at the spine. There's no color break up there, no color break up here, no color break down here. The wrap is actually a perfect wrap. There's no black at the top or white here on the bottom. So when you look at this CGC cert number that has the same one as this one right here, you think, wait a minute, this is the same cert number, but it's for a completely different book. So what is going on here? Why do these books have the same cert number? I mean, they're seemingly different books, and they also have different holders altogether, yet they're supposed to be the same. I mean, as they are, programmed into CGC system, and as a byproduct of that, GPA as well. Well, 99 Newsstand has this post right here where, let me just read it out for you guys. I was told that the other book was purchased, recognized to be a Mark Jewelers that CGC previously missed, and resubmitted to CGC to be a re-encapsulated as a Mark Jewelers with a Mark Jewelers notated label on it. The cert number has since been updated as Mark Jewelers. The book now encapsulated, however, is not the same book. Just look at the condition for the book, look at the cover wrap, look at all the dope colors, use your eyes, etc. So presumably what had happened was somebody bought this book back in August of 2023. They apparently were able to identify that this was actually a Mark Jewelers comic book. And so they went to CGC to reholder their copy so that they could then have the label actually be notated as being Mark Jewelers. And that's why we have this book here. But the book seems completely different. I mean, maybe CGC dinged some corners when they were reholdering it, but how would that explain the actual different wrap that we see here on the left-hand side? So now people are starting to wonder, is this a little bit of some funny business? Now, if I'm to throw on my tinfoil hat and go to Pepe Sylvia Town, well, I suppose it's possible that this book could have been a Mark Jewelers, secretly in there. But did they have this idea that, hey, maybe if I open up the case, take out this really nice version of this book, and slide in maybe a 9.4 Mark Jeweler newsstand or a 9.6 Mark Jeweler newsstand, slide it into the same case, but reholder it, well, then I can sell, the lower graded copy of this version masked as a CGC 9.8. Like maybe they were able to trick, the CGC reholdering team by opening up the case. Or perhaps this is a CGC inside job. Someone at CGC, swapping out, some of their cert numbers or things like that. Either way, nobody really knows how this actually happened. Nobody really knows if this is just an oversight by CGC, but here we are at a place where this cert number is the same thing. It is being incorporated into all of, GPA, into the CGC website itself. And here we have this massive $15,000 sale for a Mark Jewelers newsstand, quote unquote, 9.8, that is not really a 9.8. They were maybe supposed to get this book. Although maybe this book is not a Mark Jewelers either. So a lot of shenanigans going on, a lot of tomfoolery going on, and it is a really, really interesting developing story. And I thought that it would be great to make a quick video here to bring it to your guys' attention and sort of pose back the question to you guys. What do you think is going on here? I mean, I think one of the big takeaways you have to think with anytime, a story like this comes out is either one, the scammers out there, man, are just getting, next level with their ability to abuse the system. I mean, we've had, people using facsimiles, and then they went on to reproduction covers, and then they went on to like opening up cases and slipping in other books and stuff. And now they're abusing the reholdering process, to do their evil comic book biddings. Or number two, how much, mistakes and oversights and misses are actually happening with CGC. Shout out to Neo Cards and Comics. He coined that phrase. Do you really want to know? It's one of those things that we always talk about here. I mean, imagine you're somebody out there who bought like an AF-15 and a CGC 9.6. What if that AF-15 and a CGC 9.6 was missing an ad page or something crazy like that? Do you really want to know that your graded book has these issues on it? If you buy that CGC 9.8, $15,000 Mark Jeweler newsstand here, do you really want to know that your book is not a 9.8? I mean, it's one of those interesting things in our community. Everybody says buy the book, not the grade, but come on, we know what it is. Everybody buys the grade. They simply do not buy the book. But either way, what do you guys think about this crazy sale? Do you think that this buyer got potentially scammed with their purchase? How do you guys think this happened? Again, I will put a link to 99 Newsstand's Instagram post. Go give him a follow and take a look at some of the discussion around this. A very, very interesting story developing at this very moment. And certainly we will have to keep our eyes on what is to come with it in the future. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.